So, why don't you tell us how Renegade Rage began?
How Renegade Rage began?
Yes.
Man. So I had a friend that I was working with at a gym that I started out here in the Tri-Cities in Kennewick, the Tri-City Core Club. I'm sure some of us have heard about that place. And they were mentioning, it would be a good idea to get some clients out and doing something fun rather than the typical 5Ks, 10Ks around town. So they mentioned doing an obstacle course challenge, and the first one that we were introduced to was a Spartan race.
Okay.
So that's where it all started, like doing something different with clients to motivate them to appreciate and understand why the push-up is important, why having pull strength is important. Why are we training?
Sure.
Why are we in the gym?
Sure.
Like, we're training for what? For the moment, when we need it to be able to be ready and go. To me, it transformed why we exercise, not just to come in and be pretty for the mirror, have these abdominals, these biceps, all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, they're great, they're a nice byproduct of the hard work, but what can we do with them? What can they do for you or for somebody else, So all of a sudden, obstacle course races make fitness and training take a more holistic sincerity or seriousness to it, It's like, okay, I have to be able to be flexible so I can be in these awkward positions and angles when I'm weaving and moving through these obstacles. And anybody that's watched American Ninja Warrior starts to realize, like, oh shoot, like you can't just be able to jump high or be strong. Like having agility, having balance, being able to keep your cool when you have all these lights and all these people doing all that kind of stuff, So it makes you have to be present in what you're doing, okay? So that was exciting for me. People like to be entertained. People like to have fun. But they also like to be challenged. So that's where the ideas and the wheels started turning from going beyond participating at these, which we did a few, to saying, hey, we can do something here. Such person that I was working out with said, I happen to know somebody that has some property, and they said, we can do something here if we want. So we're like, wheels started turning, and one thing led to another, and we said, hey, let's use this event, this adventure race kind of a series that has been started up as something to get people out and doing something. People are already watching American Ninja Warrior. People are already on the couch cheering and rooting and then imagining themselves going on with that, So it's like, let's help people go from being a spectator and an applauder to a runner and doing it. They see an American Ninja Warrior and it's a TV thing, right? But these mud runs, these obstacle course races, you don't have to put together a video that's going to be looked through from hundreds and hundreds of other people, and then or go stand in a walk-on line like I did, camp out 2 or 3 nights, oh, not enough, camp out 5, 6 nights just to get on and get an opportunity. Like, our thought was like, hey, this is something that it can be right up the street for you. It's in your own home back town, Be it, live it. So it starts to make them feel that, hey, these people that I admire that I'm watching on TV, these great athletes, these great movers, like, I can live and be a little bit like them. It's my chance to, again, go from spectator to the athlete, to the star that's doing it. So a lot of what we have out there is been inspired by a combination of these franchise big mud runs like Tough Mudder, Spartan, and of course American Ninja Warrior. I was fortunate enough to participate in American Ninja Warrior, and I've done dozens of Spartans and Tough Mudders already. So what you get to see and experience is a little bit of what you see on TV, okay? We have obstacles and challenges that are good for beginners, walls that are anywhere from 3 feet tall starting, ropes with knots for people who do not know how to climb a rope that doesn't have knots, all the way to the more advanced obstacles, walls that are 8 feet, 10 feet tall, half pipes, kind of like the finisher in American Ninja Warrior. You have to run up a curved pipe and get to the top and hang, pull, all the way to feeling like a little bit of a Tarzan. Grab a rope, swing from one end of a pond, glide over the water, and bam, land onto the other side. Maybe. If you did a little bit of training and paid attention to other people that were doing it. we're located in North Pasco, right? Far, far north, like agricultural country over there. So what you can expect as far as like terrain and atmosphere, you're gonna be surrounded by the fields of Microsoft Windows. You know, the stuff that you see on your screensaver, that's us over there. Alfalfa fields, roaming hills, some people growing corn, some people having alfalfa, fields of peas or beans, stuff like that. So our course is actually not full of a bunch of hills and stuff like that, where you might see videos of other events and races, you're like, oh my gosh, there's hills? No, we have to make the hills there because we do have a little bit of a flatter terrain. But we have tons of water obstacles and more obstacles per mile than every obstacle course race I have ever been to. Like about every quarter mile or less, you have an obstacle. We have about 30 of these over the course of 6 miles. So the variety of challenging to not so hard, which it's hard for me to say that because if you don't have balance, but you're super strong, super fast, this and that, a balance obstacle that is easy for somebody who cannot even do a pull-up, or somebody who has no fear of heights, they're going to be going over one of these balance obstacles no problem. Where somebody who's really strong, really fast, maybe super lean, is going to be like, oh God, I don't know about this. So it's really hard to say what is hard and what is not, because it's a different world for every person that steps out into the field. For an athlete that's coming out to compete, the extreme athletes, what they're going to appreciate is the amount of toys they can play on. You know, I had the experience where I would go to an obstacle course race, something like a Tough Mudder, and they would call a hill an obstacle, you know, which is good because it is a challenge. We have to look at geography and terrain as an obstacle. It really is. You know, we don't have the hills, like I said, so we have to create our obstacles. So the fun thing for athletes is that they get man-made obstacles, a ton of them. So they have the ability to sprint hard in between obstacles, but then they're running into a challenge there. And like other competitive obstacle course challenges or races, if you cannot execute an obstacle successfully, there is a penalty, so that it does balance out the playing field. You can't come out there as a cross-country runner or a great long-distance track athlete and be like, oh, I'm just gonna skip the obstacle or take the penalty. The penalties are gonna even it out so that the runner is gonna be weakened by some kind of a strength cardio combination, where somebody that might be a little bit slower than them, but really good and adapted to obstacles, they'll fly through the obstacles. So it's gonna keep things even for them. So that's one thing that the elite competitors will appreciate. Not only that, but we do offer cash prizes and different kind of gifts and things that they can win at the end of this. So not only do they get some bragging rights, fun toys that are going to challenge the width and the breadth of the different kind of obstacles that they're going to get to, but they have bragging rights, prizes, and just a different look, okay? Where, again, the franchise obstacle courses are known and branded because you go to one and you can expect the same kind of thing in another one, kind of like McDonald's. A Big Mac is a Big Mac in Pasco, just like in Seattle, kind of thing, you know. Where here, our obstacles are kind of changing, kind of dynamic, and it's a combination, again, of this race, and this famous event put into one. So for those people who are not interested in being a competitor or somebody that's going for the extreme side of it, it's still a great race because, again, when you register for that or you go in for that option, you don't have to do every obstacle. If you get to an obstacle that seems like I might get hurt doing this or I feel unsafe, you go around it. Kind of look at this course like Disneyland, okay? You're going through this park. Here's an obstacle or a ride at the theme park. There might be a line, there might not be. Get in line for it and you go. And if it's a scary ride that you're not ready for, you go around, you move to the next one, you know? People can walk it or they can jog it. You can do it alone if you want to go out there and test yourself and be like, what would it be like to go through this experience alone? And yeah, you're going to be out there running by yourself, but there's going to be other people around. So if you ever run into an obstacle that like you want to try, but you recognize this obstacle actually requires teamwork, and we have obstacles designed that they're supposed to be like that. Because we don't want people to be out there on their own. Part of this is for them to learn to ask for help or want to offer help somewhere else. Humans extending a helping hand to another human to do it. So you can walk it, you can jog it. When you get to an obstacle, you can give it a shot on your own or reach out to somebody who is struggling to help them, and in return they'll help you, or vice versa. Again, anybody can do it. I've witnessed people doing these things in wheelchairs, wheeling where they can, and when they get to a hard part, they have teammates or other people that on either side, they pick this chair up and they are running them through it and going through. There's people that I've seen in this thing missing a leg, hobbling through this thing. I've seen men in their 70s or 80s in a plaid suit jacket, pants like dressed up, and just walking through the obstacle course and doing their best. I witnessed this stuff at these events. And that's the beautiful part about it. When you get to see people in different walks of life who have gone through different challenges, going out there and trying. What is awesome about this thing for family is the unique experience, all right? You step out of the monotony of every Saturday we go do this or every Sunday we go do that. It's a new experience. It's an experience that's going to stimulate different kind of emotions and thoughts, self-realizations. Seeing your family, your friends have a different face or look on them that you have not seen before, you know? And then that starts to kind of bring up different topics or subjects or conversations at the dinner table that night when they're celebrating. Weeks and months down the road, something that they can talk about, that they had a unique experience. And this kind of experience starts to open doors to them. That's what this is supposed to do. Beyond the whole pull people off the couch and go get active and learn a new appreciation for their exercise, but experiencing new things might start getting their mind open to saying, hey, let's go try something new. Because there's still something to be said about experiencing something that you've never done before with people that are new, that you don't know around you, but also importantly, the people that you have known all your life and maybe didn't realize that they had something in them that came out in that day. And the same thing for themselves. So family sees a side of each other that they didn't before. They're helping out each other in a way that they haven't had to, and it just bonds them. That's what this is about. Not just creating community, but bringing families together. Not only does it do that, but all of a sudden, the Renegade Rage tribe starts to expand. You start to look at the people that you're not related to by blood, but you're related to by cuts, scrapes, battle wounds that have happened together. You see somebody with a Renegade buff or a shirt walking around, it's like, we've walked a similar path, and you have something in common. And it makes Tri-Cities that is growing, feel a little more homely still.